No matter how you may justify them, the end result is that child is now damaged. And I think we really need to look at it. I know as a pastor, I see a lot of children, they come to church and they look like they've been, going through the mill, and they're looking for someone to tell them that they look nice today.
Right.
And put their arm around them. And I say to the parents, these are your children. And God says children are a gift from God. And let's treat them like gifts. Exactly.
Now, in Jesus' message about caring and loving, what's your interpretation of the message you were talking about, the love and caring, the hug? Because my perspective and my interpretation, Jesus reached out and he taught by hands-on, very important, and he showed his love through hands-on. That's part of the healing, the hands-on healing.
Correct.
And part of the nurturing and not neglect is part of the hands-on by encouragement. Hands-on could be verbal, telling them that you love them. The actual hands-on, the pat, you did a great job, you got an A, you're excellent, you were tops, whatever the terminology you like to use. In your teachings, in our parish, what's the message that you offer? How do you interpret?
Well, we interpret it by actually, you can tell a person you love them, but you make an act of love. We remember birthdays in our church, and birthdays are so important to people. And we make sure at Church Alive that no matter what age you are, your birthday is going to be recognized. And so, and once a month, we have a birthday cake, and all those who have birthdays, they are honored, and we sing happy birthday. And we stop all the religious things that we're doing, we stop, and we take a very personal role by singing happy birthday to everybody. And that brings a love and brings a church together, and also it lets everyone know that they are special. And this is very important in this area. This is hands-on.
It is. Yeah. It's hands-on, and there's a lot of touching.
You got to take time to do that. You got to break your normal routine. If you really want to show appreciation, you got to break your routine and do something that affects the person directly.
Right. Exactly. It's a proactive approach to making a difference and showing that you care. It's the emotional support. After we have a mass, you will step down and then you will shake everyone's hand and give them a blessing on the way out. Very important. And you acknowledge everyone and thank them for being here and being part of this. And like you said, if it's a birthday, we all sing happy birthday to everyone, anyone, and everyone. So you're being part of it.
And it's amazing how on a Sunday, how the children will rush up to me as a pastor, and they want to hug me, they want to hold on to me, because we made a personal connection with them. And we didn't put them off in a row and say, that's where you sit down. No, but we allowed them to be part of what we're all about, and that's worshiping the Lord, but worshiping Him in love. And love is by sharing.
Well, you're a mentor and teaching the support and love. We need to have positive role models to show what a commitment to love is. And once you develop that communication, you develop the lines of communication, and then they learn, and then the next generation that's able to pass on this knowledge. And we always give presentation about passing on knowledge. It's that networking, and this is the foundation, the core networking, and building that foundation, the emotional support.
It's wonderful, I thank God for Church Alive, that we have a church that we exude love and concern for everybody. We have members of our church that are in their 90s, and we don't overlook them and say they're in their 90s, but that would be neglect. But we recognize them, and we show them that
they're a significant part of this.
And that's an important area of it. And I think we have to understand there are other areas of neglect. There's physical neglect. When you just isolate yourself from people, you do your thing, I do my thing, and we don't connect at all. And then there's educational neglect, where we deny people the opportunity to learn. And we would rather them do other things than to sit down and read a book. And sometimes parents get upset with their children when what are you reading again? When you're reading it, why don't you go outside and play, and the child wants to learn. And so we have to be careful about those things, and that we don't trespass the things that are important to our children and to us as individuals.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's just important, like laying that foundation and being part of the family. Again, we're talking about a functional family and making it, like I said, I always go back to making a difference. You have to make a commitment. You must look, in this particular topic, you have to look for the signs and symptoms, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's a family member. Get involved, be proactive, make a difference. Remember, the children are the foundation and they're our future. Here in Church Alive, the children are active and they participate in every event that Church Alive offers. Whenever there's a food drive, they're involved.
That's right.
Whenever there's a special event, they come up and they're part of the service. They'll put on performances, and this is part of that support system that we're talking about. And it's, again, they're being honored and being part of the church, not neglected. It's not, okay, the children go in the back and just sit there because you're beneath us. No, you're on our level.
Have a Children's Sunday, and like we do, we have them perform on a Sunday, on a Sunday where we would have, the pastor speaking, and this is the main service. No, we don't. We make the children part of the main service by giving them a Sunday, like you said, where they can go through, gospel dancing or sacred dancing, and we have one child that remembered all the books of the Bible.
Right.
And then we give them a reward.
Right.
We let them know that we appreciate their achievement. Sure. And that's important too, awarding. I was just looking at this list of signs of emotional abuse, and one of them is apathy. Because sometimes we don't know that, you don't see any marks, but you see some actions that are not right. Body language, okay? And what about depression? I know as a physician, you see a lot of people coming in, and children where they come in and they're depressed. But then also there are children that come in who are hostile. Well, you want to deal with that because you try to give them medication, you try to find out what's wrong with them, and they start screaming and hollering. Right. I used to wonder, how does a doctor deal with that?
Well, when I have a child that comes in, or a parent, basically it's my approach is, again, like I said in the past, communication. I have to sit down, I have to find a common bond. I will look at them and I will figure out what I have in common with them, and then once I find out that common ground, and then I will feed off of that, and that's my foundation, that's my springboard, and then I will slowly break down that barrier. I'll chip away at it, then I'll crack a smile, then I'll make them laugh, and I'll have them open up. The next thing they're telling me about what's bothering them, and we'll try to get down to that core. And sometimes it will take, so I might get lucky and it's on a first office visit. Sometimes it might take a few office visits. And once they find that it's a safe zone, and I tell them right away that my office is a safe zone. They feel this is it. What we discuss is confidential, and it's safe here. No one's going to know about it. And I want to thank all those viewers who've visited my website and gave me positive feedback. So stay alive with Church Alive, make a difference, be proactive, get involved. Call the Bishop, Dr. Timothy Burkett. If you want to contact him, you can go through my website, click Church Alive Community Church, and you go directly to the website. You can call the number on your screen, make a difference, volunteer. Thank you.